Hi, Aquarius. I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the beginning of November. Let's get right into things. So we're going to first discuss the new moon in Scorpio. I'm going to do an I say, they say spread, which I'm going to do a Celtic cross spread for you, and then a Celtic cross spread for possibly another energy that you're dealing with. But first, we're going to pull some Halloween tarot because it is Halloween today, and some oracles. So let's get right into things. So Aquarius, remember these general messages. Take what resonates about the rest and try to make it fit if it's not your reading. But you have this new moon. Just keep saying full moon. Calm down. That's another couple of weeks. The new moon energy is going to be in this 10th house. It's going to be the moon, the sun, Mars, and the Mercury is going to be popping in there on the 5th. So that energy of Mercury is sort of being felt in there already with this new moon. Lots of things being lit up. Changes, surprises, right? Scorpio, it's about transformation. Mars is that warrior energy. Is this the right thing for me? A lot of you are going to be in that space, right? Having to do with your career, your public reputation, your standing in the world. Some of you might just be feeling like, where I'm going in this life right now, right? Having to do with my long-term plans. Is this the right thing for me? And it's sitting at direct opposite of this Uranus and Taurus energy in your 4th house of home. And it's, you're going to be feeling it there, right? That some sort of change, some sort of shift. Now, the 4th house could mean your literal home and who you live with and where you live and all of that. But it could also be metaphorically your ability to feel very grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. And the fact that Venus is going to be moving into on the 5th, also moving into Capricorn, it's going to be the sextile. And it's going to be sitting there until March 6th, rather, which is a really long stint for Venus. And she's going to be retrograde for part of it. We're not going to talk about that yet. But right now, being in that 12th house, Venus in the 12th with Capricorn, in the sign of work, in that 12th house energy of the hidden, I feel like a lot of you are doing a lot of thinking and a lot of contemplating about, first of all, where it is that you want to go. Do you feel like you're sacrificing yourself or martyring yourself in some way by going after exactly what it is that you're going after right now within your career? And there could be a lot of this questioning of sacrificial energy, like, am I doing the right thing, and just not really being sure. But something's going to be rolling out this month that's going to bring this to the forefront, where either something surprising that's happening within your home, having to do with somebody who lives in your home, your physical home, somebody who lives within your home, or just this idea again of your ability to feel grounded, rooted, and safe and secure. And I feel like a lot of you are going to be feeling it that way, especially because Pluto with Venus in Capricorn in that 12th house is a lot of change. You're identifying a lot of change that you may be going through. So I cannot emphasize this enough though. Mercury and Scorpio, be careful of not bringing up too much of the past, because when it's hanging out with Mars, Mercury and Mars together, it's like sharp tongue action, right? It's like and in Scorpio is all about bringing up the past. And in that 10th house energy, some of you may be mentally, emotionally, maybe going through a lot of like energy about the past and why you're doing what you're doing in career. I mean, not to get too deep, but some of you might even be going back to some like father issues having to do with like examples that were set for you in the realm of work and how that has then ultimately manifested for you in your life. Some of you may be in that space, but also it's just this idea of going back. So you want to make sure that you're not in this situation. It's not only career. Again, 10th house is not only career. It's also your reputation, right? Your marriage, right? Because that has to do with long-term goals and what you're known as. Whatever that is, though, you want to make sure that you're not beating a dead horse. I'm saying this to everybody, not only you. And you also want to filter what it is that you're saying. Not to say that you shouldn't be, verbal. You're not going to be able to help it, right? But you want to make sure that you're just washing it through a filter first, okay? Before you say anything that can end up creating like something that you can't go back and fix, because the energy and I've mentioned October, November are really going to be dictating a lot of 2022. So I'm just going to drop this down so you guys can have a better visual of the cards. Okay, so let's pull some tarot. So we have the 8 of Pumpkins. Okay. 2 of Bats. So it does seem like you're at cross purposes with yourself. You're in some sort of emotional stalemate. It's very interesting, right? Because it's like you feel yourself, you want to walk away from something. And the thing is, it's like with sadness, but no regret. You're exercising a high degree of emotional intelligence in this energy, for sure, Aquarius, where you're recognizing something doesn't feel right to you anymore. And you've likely detached from it already emotionally. But it's this recognition that you're never going to get where you want to go, staying in the current situation that you're in. So it's like with sadness, but no regret, walking away from something, but yet you are still in this emotional stalemate here, right? Because we have this, yeah, it's like this energy of just kind of like, sadness, but no regret, walking away here. Yeah. But at the same time, I do feel like for a lot of you, there's this focus on responsibilities. There's this focus on hard work, connection, just a very logical and diligent approach really right now, having to do with whatever's going on in your life, but you are in this emotional stalemate. And I do see that you've already sort of emotionally detached from something. It does seem like that. And in the Four of Ghosts energy, you feeling like, well, it's never going to work because they do A, B, and C, and this, that, and that happens in that situation. It's just, I don't feel connected and I'm feeling very disillusioned. And I feel like I'm never going to be in the right relationship, or I'm never going to be really happy in a job, or whatever the case is. And that could be really, challenging to deal with, right? But remember, with the Four of Ghosts, is like with the Four of Cups, you want to make sure that you're understanding whatever the situation at hand that's happening, it's poking at some sort of unhealed wound inside of you, where maybe it's making you question your worth, or it's making you not feel good about yourself, and so therefore you don't want to be involved in it because it makes you feel bad, right? But not to say that whatever situation you're in is not maybe not acting appropriately, but you do want to sort of call out within yourself what wound might not be healed that's being sort of poked at by this person or this situation. But I do see you trying to focus on what's important. I do see that, but you're definitely at this emotional stalemate. And the thing is, with the Two of Bats, you have to make the decision because it's not going to go away, and your future is dependent on it. So you're better off just saying whatever it is that you have to say, and just like let the cards fall where they may, right at that point. Okay, we have Treasured Island coming up from okay, by the book. Message in the bottle that keeps coming up. Message in the bottle. Yeah, so we have Treasure Island, and Message in the Bottle are very, very similar in that lots of information coming up from your emotions. You're realizing a lot of things. You're realizing what you bring to the table. You're realizing how you feel about something. You're realizing a lot of things about your belief system more than anything, right? Because we have this by the book as the center card. So by the book really is sort of like that Hierophant energy, right? It's about your belief system, expectations, and what's needed within a situation. So you might be in this space where you're realizing that, either maybe you need to release your hold on a particular belief system that you have, or a lot of you are just being reminded that your belief system is really profound and powerful for you. And it's not worth you engaging with anybody who's not going to respect, what it is that you feel, that you need to have in your life, whether it's your faith, your spirituality, whatever the case is, right? Absolutely. So let's move these out of the way and let's pull a Celtic cross spread for you. Knight of Wands and the Chariot energy. Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands to start out. So here you're very fired up in your ambitions, right? I mean, this is about events speeding up, blocks being lifted, and you being all about it. You're all about it. Some of you may be in a space where you just really want to meet somebody or you're feeling actually maybe very creative, very innovative, very motivating. You might be meeting somebody like this. Some of you may be in that space, but it definitely is, whenever we have wands, it's passion, it's will, it's motivation. It's a strong desire to move forward, right? I'm feeling very connected to that. But the challenge here is the Chariot. So there could be some arrogance and self-indulgence at play here, right? You may be dealing with this with friends or with other people that you're dealing with, family members or a partner. This could indicate as somebody being off the right path. This could indicate egotism and selflessness as selfishness rather as it being this sort of block. You may be dealing with that situation because this is the challenge right now. This is the block. Very interesting. So some of you may be in this space of really trying to progress some sort of business or work situation forward, like bring something to fruition, but it's not happening as quickly as you would like. And you're just like, oh, come on already, right? And, let's just go. Or some of you may be in this space where you want to feel really connected in a relationship, but it's like this toxicity is just not, it's like unrelenting. Okay, we have the Temperance energy as the basis. We have the Knight of Cups. Okay, so I like the Knight of Cups as this energy coming in because this is all about a proposal coming in, right? Something that feels very connected to your heart. Very, very emotional time within relationships, right? But this is also you just basically being open to real, fill in the blank, real love, real happiness within a career, a real even if it's a family connection or a friendship, somebody who you know is not going to betray you, somebody who's solid, right? No matter what, where they're not judgmental, right? You're just being all about that right now. And you're very fired up to sort of manifest that for yourself. But I feel like some of you are surrounded by something that's toxic, that's sort of getting in the way of you being able to move forward in, I say in a wholesome way that you really want to, but at least in the positive way that you'd like to. So what's needed? Yeah, I mean, this makes so much sense. We have the Temperance as the basis of the situation, working with the Strength card. So Temperance is all about empathy and being able to come together. What do you need? Excuse me. What do you need? What do they need? What does the situation need? Right. And where there's a new level of trust and patient cooperation had in relationship after a pretty difficult time period. So, having to do with a friend or even an intimate relationship, anything like that. Those of you have this energy in some sort of career or money situation, you might be dealing with challenging personalities, right? And whether they're too aggressive or too sensitive, whatever the case is, like patience and cooperation is going to go a long, long way here. Just make sure you pay attention to your incoming and outgoing finances in this energy. I do always have to say that. Now, this is worse. This is the basis of the situation. They need to temper something because something's been tested. The Strength energy, though, does indicate if something has been tested, you have everything that you need, right, to improve, but there is a need for balance. There's a need for balance. If this has to do with a career or money situation, tensions at work due to ego can be a thing, but can be resolved through empathy. Somebody with strong opinions, right, needs to be calmed down. And that could be resolved again through empathy, calming their ego down so that their minds can open up, but you may need to play mediator in such a situation though, right now, Aquarius. It does seem like that. Okay. All right, the Fool is the advice card. Do something different, fresh path, new perspective here. The Fool is a Uranus energy. So if this has to do with relationship, this could be those of you who are single, meeting somebody new. For those of you who are in relationship, doing things differently than you've been, trying a different approach to the situation. If this has to do with career or money, this is a new path, new opportunity. The advice here is a new approach regarding fill in the blank. A new approach. Now, the energy external to you. Now, this could be the energy surrounding you, or this could be in a particular person. The Eight of Wands is a very fast-moving energy. This is Mercury and Sagittarius. So good news coming in, lots of busy communication. This is great if you've been feeling like you've been waiting on something, you've been feeling held back. Very good news for growth coming in. So, and that growth can apply for relationship, for your career, for some sort of financial situation, family situation, whatever it is. And if this is a person external to you, this is someone reaching out to you to smooth something over, especially if you've been sort of on the outs with them. Very nice energy there. But your challenge is the Page of Wands. It's a challenge here. So you're having some sort of challenge expressing yourself. Others of you may be struggling with the fact that something is something needs negotiating, right? And you may be having a hard time with the fact that the ultimate offer of something is not really everything that you would like, or if you're meeting somebody in a relationship or you're in relationship, they have so many good qualities, true, but it's like something's missing. It's not exactly what it is that you really, wanted for yourself. And this could end up serving as a kind of mental block for you as far as your desire to really move forward in it. We have the Queen of Wands, though, in your near future. And again, this is just in your personal psychology. It doesn't have to be long-lived. Then we have the nice Queen of Wands here, which is about you stepping into your power, ideas popping. You're going to have the strength you need to make things happen. And all of your relationships can feel energized as a result of this energy, which is really nice. And yeah, you just doing things differently. We have the Three of Wands as the final outcome energy, which is about, in short, it's sort of like turning your back on the past, but it's one of the more fortuitous cards actually in tarot, one of the good fortune cards, because this is about like thriving business. This has to do with like very busy, intense period. For some of you, this can indicate a wedding or at least an important relationship, or just moving on to realize plans, but you might be dealing with unconventional people or in some sort of unconventional situation. But you really kind of want to bask in your uniqueness here, honestly, because it's time to, to sort of put yourself out there and not hide the true you and not hide how fabulous you are, which you shouldn't be doing anyway as an Aquarius, right? We depend on you to show your unique qualities, but let's pull some clarifiers here. Okay, wow. Wow. Nice energy of acceptance. Because here it is, it's like, okay, Hermit energy, trying to think about a different strategy, right? If this has to do with work, this is stepping back and saying, all right, it's time to figure out what's not working here, right? You might even feel like it's time to try a different approach or a path. Or if this has to do with a relationship, this is a problem-solving energy, right? So if you're single, you're in this space where whatever you've been up to this point is being looked at. And it's time for you to work on yourself, think about past experiences so that past mistakes aren't repeated in the future. Those of you who are in a relationship, then it's time to invest more energy and work to smooth over any of these issues that might need addressing in your relationship, but in a different way. It's got to be in a different way with the Three of Wands energy. So that's being clarified by the beautiful Ace of Pentacles. This is a very, very benefic energy. This is really about, this is very auspicious for just getting whatever that you want. And that sounds kind of Pollyanna, right? But not it just landing in your lap, but you being shown the way. So maybe meeting somebody very serendipitously, or being, where you're introduced to somebody, or something happens at work, or something happens through people that but you're shown a way of bringing yourself whatever it is that you want, whether it's a relationship, money, a solid situation within career, whatever it is. It does seem like there's this new beginning, but you're going to be kind of confused about it. You're in the space of negotiating. The Two of Pentacles is all about negotiating, right? And needing to make a decision, though, right, regarding more than one path, right? Because you feel a sense of lack. It could be in money, it could be in connection, whatever it is. But you have to decide which pentacle you're going to put down, obviously, wherever you're feeling the sense of lack. So whatever's happening is happening in divine timing with the star energy. This is Aquarius, beautiful, lovely energy. This does indicate that you're destined to be with somebody. If you're not with anyone right now, it's time to find that soul connection. This is a change for the better after a difficult time. This is also a money luck energy, where the work and the effort that you've been putting into something, it starts to pay off here. So, and because you've been working hard, and you've been having, more than any other sign, Aquarius, you've been able to recognize your long-term goals and prioritize well, even if you don't really even know what that means. In other words, it's like, all right, I know I want to do this because I know at some point down the road, it's going to end up paying off. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Some of you may be guided to start a new business, or you realize you have some sort of hidden talent that you could put to some good use. But the star also indicates awards, fame, all of that good stuff. And then we have that followed by Jupiter. I'm not mad at this. Nope, nope. Especially if it has to do with career or money, as this is good news coming in. Just make sure that you prioritize whatever's being asked of you and exercise integrity while you're doing it, right? Because this is always in a tight dance with karma, because it's a Jupiter energy. Now, if this has to do with a relationship, though, so a little bit of a different interpretation, right? There's this need to take a chance and a turning point where you might be in this position where you're considering getting back with somebody from the past. Doesn't mean that you are, but you may be thinking about it. So maybe they came back around, or you've been thinking about them a lot, and you're in the space of thinking, I don't know, is the right thing for me to do. Some of you might even be thinking about returning to an old job that you had, right? Could even be that. Clarifying that is the beautiful Magician, which is straight up Mercury. So this rules Gemini and Virgo. So having conversations to problem solve. And as you're conversing, you're going to be sort of making this decision to let go of the past. Make that decision about the past while you're assessing, and you're just sort of spiritually waking up, and you're shifting your energies into a new phase. And you're in the space where you're more comfortable to reconcile situations. So for some of you, reconciling with an actual relationship, or just reconciling the reality of certain experiences that are happening right now. What I do like about this, though, for career money, as well as acknowledgement for your success coming in, right? Your money getting better, right? And some of you may even make a decision about a property in this energy, where you find yourself very drawn to maybe an old property or a place that you have very happy memories in, something like that. But what I like about this here is there's definitely a lesson learned. When we have the Magician and the Judgment, there's a lot of communication and a lot of like culminating of ideas and saying, okay, I learned my lesson in that, I've been through it, and now I'm ready to be happy. And what it was, the lesson that you're learning is that the life that you've been living, or you were living in a particular situation, is not squaring with what it is that you want to live. And the thing is, with the Five of Swords, I'm going to say it's not your fault, but it's kind of not your fault, at least subjectively, where you realize the job, the situation, the relationship, whatever it is, you can't change them. You can only work on yourself. And whatever it is that they're bringing to the table is not in alignment with what you really want. So no matter how loud you yell, or for how long you try to strategize and negotiate or compromise, whatever it is, at least for now, you're better off just walking away with grace and dignity, and take your losses. It doesn't mean it's gone forever. It's a 5. It's 5 is still a minor arcana. But, the idea here is, though, it's like this conflict having to do with the 6 of Pentacles, where this idea of I have your back, you have mine, So some of you may be feeling kind of disconnected from family. Some of you may be, because the 6 of Pentacles is very property, family, inheritance, generosity, support kind of energy, right? But because it's clarifying the 5 of Swords, there's this conflict. I feel like the conflict is existing surrounding that you just simply don't feel supported enough by a particular person, or you don't feel like you're supported enough in your line of work, or whatever it is, in your family, anything like that. And you just feel like the sense of lack in that way. And you do have that Uranus and Taurus in that 4th house. So we have blessed, focusing on your faith. Very nice. Don't do anything. Chop wood. One more. Regeneration. Lots of people we get in that card up. Absolutely. You're changing. You're changing right now, Aquarius. We've been talking about this all year. We understand you have Jupiter and Saturn in your energy right now. So you're doing a lot of changing, but right now, focus on the good that is in your life, and don't do anything crazy right now, meaning the first week of November. Don't do it. I mean, there's going to be a lot of change coming up, believe me, by the end of the month. So you're better off waiting until eclipse season officially begins in a couple of weeks, and then seeing where everything rolls out from there for you. All right, so let's see what's going on with the person that you're dealing with. Okay, Six of Pentacles. Isn't that interesting? Because that's what came up before as like what you're feeling sort of challenged in. That's where they're at though right now. Six of Pentacles is about, I have your back, you have mine, right? If they've been struggling financially, things getting better for them, or if they've been feeling this lack of support, things getting better. This is where they're at. This is what they want, but what's challenging them in feeling this way right now is the Knight of Wands. So the Nine of, this could be, you may be dealing with somebody who is a chaotic person who experiences a lot of sexual excess in their energy, who's very impulsive, could certainly be that. They might be having a really hard time feeling very motivated, feeling like things are not working fast enough, things are going a little too slow, that kind of thing. And that could be getting in the way of them being able to feel completely connected in the situation. We do have the Page of Cups, which indicates maybe you guys have gotten into a new relationship, or maybe you were in a relationship and you guys started a new cycle within there, or this can indicate a new job, right? Something new coming in this space that speaks to your heart space, right? So any emotional aspects, so love, money, family, anything like that coming in for them. That Six of Pentacles, though, is being challenged by this Knight of Wands. Things just not speeding up the way that they would like. So we have the basis of the situation is the Ace of Cups. Again, for some of them, it's going to be a new relationship, a new beginning, a new job, whatever it is. But this current situation, these two are working together. So it's the basis of the situation is like a new relationship, new job, some sort of new venture. It does seem like that they're having with you. And then we have the Magician energy. So again, Gemini and Virgo, right? Because this is a Mercury energy, having the conversation to problem solve. Somebody very much wanting to have this conversation with you. We have the Six of Wands. And this is a positive conversation. This is their recommendation here. Six of Wands is nice energy again, feelings being shared, well received, very positive communication coming in, deepening of the connection or commitment, whatever it is. If it has more to do with like career or some sort of other opportunity going on, this is deserved success coming in. Great energy if you've been like feeling like you're struggling or held back. Acknowledgement at work here is absolutely happening either for you or for them, right? Because this is like the recommendation here. So to look at the benefit of this very positive energy. So really it's about focusing on the positive and not the negative for this person that you're dealing with. Now, the Knight of Pentacles, this is either you or an energy that's surrounding them. So if this is you, there can be this energy where you're dealing with somebody who looks at you as somebody who's very loyal and dependable. You have a lot to offer, but they may feel like there's something missing, where there's something going on within your connection, and they're not sure if it's the right thing for them, right? And so this is something to be mindful of. At the same time, they also view you as somebody who's focusing on growing your life, which is good, where you are a person focused on increasing your prosperity, financial growth, making good investments, making smart decisions, increasing your money, increasing your connections out there in the world, right? You recognizing, I'm going to have to work harder than I've been in order to be stable and secure. So maybe it's like, Aquarius is too busy, or Aquarius is whatever, right? But it's like, it's going to be something different for each of you. But I do feel like there is this element of like problem, right? Or lack, something like that from their perspective. Now we have the Eight of Wands in their challenge. So the Eight of Wands is about, and this is in their psychological challenge. This is really good news coming in. Very busy communication, right? This is great if they've been feeling like held back, waiting for some sort of decision to come in, right? This is their challenge though. So maybe they're in the space of waiting. They're having a hard time having positive communication with you regarding how things can be moving forward. Very much in their personal psychology though. And then we have the Ace of Wands is the near future. So again, the Ace of Wands has to do with its fertility. This is a new relationship. This is, again, getting pregnant. Could be getting married. This is indicative of a brand new approach to something. So this could certainly be brand new job, brand new relationship, brand new, something like that coming up for them. And the final outcome energy is the Queen of Cups, which is a Gemini and Cancer energy. You know, not afraid of intimacy, not afraid of looking at what's necessary in order to make something work. Not. Doesn't seem like they are. So I feel like for some of you, you're sort of like teetering with the idea of getting into a new relationship here. Those of you who are in a relationship, it does seem like there's this need to nurture something that seems to be sort of out of balance, if that makes sense. You know, we have the Death card, the Hermit, Five of Wands. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the death energy does indicate like the ending of a relationship as it was, the ending of a job that you were working on, and, you know, or at least an avenue of money that you were making. If that's the case, though, don't worry about it, because it does seem like there's something new that's sort of right on the other side of this. You just make sure that you're just being patient, right, regarding it. But clarifying that is the Hermit, and just, you know, being in the Hermit energy, Virgo energy, this is problem solving, right? It's doing a lot of healing. They're doing a lot of self-exploration, going within. They're really on a quest here for their own personal truth and doing a lot of self-analysis here. It does seem like where they're trying to, you know, think about their past experiences, you know, within relationship or within jobs or just within different cycles of their life, so that they don't keep repeating these particular mistakes. You know, for those of you who, I mean, the relationship has to, something's ending, or something's at least transforming into being a different space. It's clarifying that is the Five of Wands. Yeah. Five of Wands is, you know, a very competitive energy, battle of the wills, you know, lack of agreement, fighting to be heard. So I feel like something big came up in the relationship. Maybe there was an argument, you guys just not on the same page. You know, kind of continued with this argument, you know, even though it does seem like they're trying to, they're really trying to understand themselves in a situation, but it just seems like their belief system in something is just very different than yours. And then we have the Hangman energy, again, sacrificial, right? I mean, they feel like, am I going to end up sacrificing what I really want in this situation with Aquarius, you know, this business deal, this family situation, this relationship, whatever it is. If I stay in this, am I going to end up being victimized, or am I going to end up sacrificing what I want? Also, some of you may be dealing with somebody who they have really no idea how you feel about them, and you might not even know how they feel about you. That could also be the situation where it's like, how long am I going to hang out and wait for this person, for goodness sake, all right, to make a move? It could certainly be that. And to have the King of Wands clarifying this, it's this idea of, yes, on the one hand, wanting to be a free spirit, wanting to express self, but then it's this idea of something like either you're too dug into them needing to be perfect in some way, or they're too dug into you needing to be perfect, where there might be this lack of alignment that you consider to be a deal breaker. I mean, and only you know that, right? If it's a deal breaker, it's a deal breaker. And then we have clarifying that as the Knight of Wands. You're very tired of the back and forth of something, because there's almost like this lack of agreement that just sort of keeps coming back around, right? And whatever this relationship is. And even though the Nine of Wands does indicate a strong position, right? You know, you fought long and hard in something, right? Which has exhausted you. And they may be very tired as well. But they may be in a space of feeling very defensive right now, right? They might not be in the most positive mindset either. It's very important for them to try to maintain this balance, which quite honestly, I don't see them doing, because as I always say with the Nine of Wands, you have to maintain balance so that you don't end up in the Ten of Wands energy. And that's what they're doing. Energy of overwhelm. I can't do this. I can't take it. Right? It's overload of demands. It's too much. It's too much. And then the Nine of Pentacles is a very self-involved energy, right? The Nine of Pentacles is really about very independent endeavors, right? Working on self, right? Nine is the number of productivity, right? Trying to integrate body, mind, and spirit. So I do feel like this person is certainly trying to work on themselves and be the best version of themselves. But I don't know, maybe it's just like the timing that you guys have here as far as either this relationship, this friendship, this business connection. But it does seem like there's a lot of energy that feels very dug into me here. Maybe even on both sides. Well, no, it has to be this way, or I can't sacrifice this particular thing. Okay, thinking. The thinker energy, go the distance. Okay, yeah, so they are being asked to think long-term here and not short-term needs, but long-term. To really think about what does it mean to go the distance in a situation, not to make any sort of broad sweeping decisions based on what's happening like today, like this month, but really thinking about long-term and trying to mend from there. So I don't feel like, even though we get the death energy, it's not the tower, I feel like things are probably going to end up circling back around in this situation. This just does seem like there's a lot of digging into belief system here. It does seem like is what I'm vibing here for sure. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you for this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. You guys have a beautiful week and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.